JC Roux. Yeah, he raped me up like I was some kind of a comedian. That's not me. Let me start just with, as I was getting onto a plane yesterday, a friend of mine passed away, and then on the plane I was thinking about him, and as I landed, I was thinking about him. And his name was Zaid Minty, and he's done a lot for culture in the country, and he's done a lot for the arts. And there's a number of other people that have passed that has done a lot for the country and done a lot for the arts, and some passed not too far from here. So if I could just take a moment to breathe with you. Okay, breathed. Raise your hand if you're an artist or if you're working in the music business. Anybody? Are most of you not artists, yeah? Okay, just keep your hand in the air if you're an artist or if you're working in the music business or close to the music business. Now, if you believe that streaming services are paying artists their due, keep your hand in the air. Okay, I think Wendy's questions are answered. I was looking at the people that was talking, and I think the overarching question is about regulation versus self-regulation. I'm with Wendy. I believe in self-regulation. Romeo's got me confused because he spoke about regulation and he spoke about wanting the politicians here, and then he ends up with self-regulation. So Romeo, you confuse me. Manaleng is a lawyer, so obviously lawyers want regulation and they want laws, otherwise they wouldn't have a job. So regulation, but she ends up talking about the industry coming together. So self-regulation, and I think maybe there's a bilingualism now, things are bi nowadays, yeah. So anyway, and then we're going to end off with Mtlanganisi. He's from government, so obviously regulation. And I think that's going to summarize everything that I'm going to say to you. Also, Romeo, we've worked together for almost 10 years, and you still call me Andrew. Yes, it's brah, what's up with that? And then Tando, I don't speak Zulu, but unamanga. When I speak about honesty, it means I'll be honest, direct, and straightforward. And anybody who knows me knows that's who I am. So don't expect me to say anything different to that. And then, yeah, Mandaleng, I've got a presentation, but I might not use it because I'll just respond to some of the things that were said. The problem of so many CMOs is not an artist and an artist not understanding problem. That problem is a problem of too many CMOs. And I think, Wendy, that's where you and I totally agree. The data that they have on Madala Kunene at one CMO, they have at another CMO, they have at another CMO, they have at the record company. Why the hell can't they just have one back office and not have so many different entities that fight amongst each other? They know the music's the same. They know the metadata's the same. They know the artists are the same. What is the problem? That is self-regulation, not state regulation. I mean, the state can't even keep the electricity working, so how the hell can we look at regulation there? So, yeah. Romeo, yeah, very confused about regulation. The chair that was up front also spoke about models. For me, in our sector, that's what we need. We need models that work. We need functional entities. We need functional societies. We need functional record companies. We need socially responsible record companies, socially responsible publishers. That deals with self-regulation when we sanction people that are out of line. And that talks to record companies and publishers and venue owners and promoters and all of the above. So one of those models that I've developed over the last 10 years is an entity called Concerts SA. Has any of you heard of Concerts SA? Okay. It's reached over 1 million audience members, creating over 13,000 work opportunities in 11 SADC countries, in approximately 800 venues, and over 4,800 concerts supported. It wasn't a policy. We need things that work for our sector. We need artists to perform. Another thing, I'm representing SACO, so I need to tell you a little bit about research that's out there. We did a little COVID newsletter. Please read that newsletter. It was directed at South Africans. It was used by the Swedish, by the Swiss, by the Netherlands, and they were all talking, the letter was talking about what you do in COVID when days are dark, and get your admin right, and fix up your albums and all of that stuff. It's an interesting newsletter to read, so please go onto our website and read it. We did some research on digital futures, and Wendy, please read that too. It deals directly with streaming models in South Africa, and it clearly says that artists are not getting their due. They may be streaming, the music might be getting out there, but the monies ain't coming in here. We also did a report for SACO on impact study of live music during the COVID pandemic. We did a world jazz survey. We also did a report on Jerusalem. I take it you guys know Jerusalem, no? But that report's embargoed because once we completed the report on this global hit, there was a little court case. What's up with you artists? Can't you do the splits and decide on things once you've created the work? I mean, you're a toch. And then when it makes money, then you've only got a problem. That talks to self-regulation. It's not about the state coming to you after the gig or after the recording and telling you who owns what. We also worked on the Gauteng Creative Industries strategy. We helped Teresa build Angel Foundation for Music. And all of that research is on our website, on the IKS and the Concerts SA website. Yeah, there were some other points I wanted to make. Yeah, I agree, SIFSA was a bit of an abortion that we put together and it doesn't work so well. One of the things also is often I hear people talk about jobs, jobs, jobs. Really, in our sector, we need to shift that paradigm. The paradigm is about work and works. When we talk to the state, we need to talk about work and works. Most composers that earn major revenue, they have works that generate revenue, that generate income, but they ain't in a job. So we really need to watch our language and correct it when we talk to government. Romeo, you spoke very directly to Mhlanganisi. I was wondering if the two of you should get a room. I mean, yes, or pay Lobola or something. But I think Mhla will respond to that a bit later. I also wanted to say congratulations to KUMISA, that you still exist. Congratulations also to Spare from the KZN Mbizo, now the Mbizo, that you still exist. It's hard. Many people have passed, many entities have passed, many organizations, so well done on your survival. A round of applause for you and Spare. It's a miracle that you exist. You get the joke? Okay. So, should we have a code of conduct? Yes, amongst each other, with each other, for each other. Should government be part of that? No. How is it? And the question that I was thinking as we develop codes of conduct, it's also about how do we as a sector, and I still regard myself as part of the sector, how do we exercise or act in a way that is true to a model and a social conscience? It can't only be about economics. You don't create music usually just for making money. In African society especially. So how, as a sector, do we look at having a model and a social conscience? How do we self-regulate in a way that allows music professionals, industry organizations, and the public to see us being accountable to each other, not tearing each other down? These are questions that I have for you in the room. The problem with the state as well is that if we talk about state regulation, the state doesn't even know what cultural model it's chosen. When you talk cultural policy, there's the patron model, there's the architect model, there's the engineering model, and then the one that I prefer is the facilitator model. The state should facilitate an environment in which the music industry can work. It shouldn't take more than 10 years to fix the bloody copyright legislation. And then also amongst each other, we shouldn't want politicians here. We shouldn't bend over backwards and kiss politicians. We should engage with them constructively, and we should first fix things amongst each other. I was in Mali about 2 months ago, and Mali had a coup d'etat. And in the midst of that coup d'etat, there was a festival of between 5,000 and 10,000 people. There was music all over, there was visual arts all over, and culture was thriving, and culture was shared. And I think sometimes we lament too much in our country as to what's wrong. We need to think about what opportunities there are, and how we cooperate, and how we collaborate. And the word I think you're looking for is co-opetition. It's the mixture between collaboration and cooperation. And I think for me, that talks to self-regulation. Thank you, Mr. Chair.